listeners like you. Our event is made possible by listeners like you. Listeners like you. Our revenge is made possible by listeners like you. By listeners like you. Our revenge is made possible by listeners like you. By listeners like you. Our revenge is made possible by listeners like you.
Late to my own live stream. I am never on time for anything, honestly. If I don't get hit by a car, you know, I'm still late no matter what happens. Folks, welcome to the weekly roundup. Welcome to this week's 1 hour live stream. And I hope you're all doing really good. I'm so shocked that the NFT project minted out in a matter of 21 hours. That is insane for any project of any scale. To do that, and it just goes to show how much people really wanted to be involved inside the project and get to understand a bit more that NFTs don't need to just be sold on an art basis and for what they look like, and kind of the build up that people build up around them, and oh, you know, if you got one of these and stuff like that, like really providing a utility use case. And that is what the Lunk Penguins NFT project aims to do. So we'll be going over the finalized white paper at some point during this live stream, but other than that, we're just going to be really going across stuff. I'll be answering questions if anybody's got any in the comment section. I'm going to be asking some questions as well to try and get some answers from you guys so I can write some stuff down and kind of gauge how you're all feeling. And one of the things that I want you guys to let me know in the comment section at the moment is, you know, how are you feeling? Okay, how do you feel about the future of Lunar Classic right now? Are you positive? Are you negative? What do you think with all of the kind of misleading stuff out there of people saying one thing one week, people saying another thing one week. It's dead, it's not dead, it's dead, it's not dead. People are starting to get quite confused, and it really doesn't help when the people you go to for information are not really providing the best kind of information that's out there. So from what we're seeing across the board at the moment, it seems to be all about these 4 million in off-chain community assets. But what I can actually say to people is now it's more like 2 to 3 million in community assets right now because of the market, what's gone on and everything else like that. So, you know, all of this time of beating around the bush, of people not agreeing with one another and then not even providing really a solution and just sort of going, you know, well, you know, you figure out, you can burn it if you want, but you'll need to get someone to sign for it because I'm not going to. And it doesn't really help that the two people that have access to the ability to get new signers or get it sent to the community pool are just not talking. So it really doesn't help. And obviously the overall market will always affect Lunar Classic because that's just Bitcoin dominance. That's just what the market does. And that's just the way the cookie kind of crumbles in crypto. You can't fight these things. You just have to go with it. So I hope, but my hope kind of went out the window this morning of those funds going to Terra Rebels, because if you've watched my video this morning, you'll know that in the discussion for them in here, Rexy, I can probably get it up, has stated that Terra Rebels do not want anything to do. Yeah, so hello, our stance has not changed. Terra Rebels as an organization has nothing to do with these funds. It is to my understand that we want nothing to do with these funds as well. Terra Rebels will remain independent and have decided to completely disconnect ourselves from this topic. And this is likely just because of the legal ties with it. You know, there was a lot of stuff missed out. If you've listened to DJ Trev's AMA with Edward Kim points out that there were things missed out and, you know, other routes should have been proposed that weren't. You know, and we kind of just seem to be in this whirlpool where everybody thinks just because these funds aren't, you know, going anywhere and we are in this kind of limbo event that things aren't happening and things aren't being built. We've just reopened the Cosmos pretty much. It's just a matter of getting each, so I'll get the map of zones up, hang on. It's a matter of now getting all of the other networks, blockchains so to speak, to vote the same way we voted to reopen them on our side. All of the other blockchains that work on the Cosmos, as you can see here, will need to do the exact same thing. So if we find ourselves Terra Classic in here, so whereabouts is it? There's so many in here. Should really bump my screen up. There we go, we're down here. So as you can see, if I click on that, it then shows us what we're interconnected with on an IBC scale, meaning that these are all of the different places that we can speak with. We can do stuff with them as long as the IBCs are agreed to be reopened on either side. Thank you so much, John Herf. Every single stream, folks, without fail, John donates, and thank you so much, John. I really appreciate it. I hope you grab some penguins. I know you grabbed some penguins. I don't know why I'm saying that because he's in the Telegram group, but thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you turning up to every stream to support and everything like that. So Mahmood feels like TR are divided and it's making the coin suck. Now, I totally get this from an outside perspective, but from what I can see, the main development side of things will never ever be disturbed in that sense, even if it looks like they're divided, because everything's decentralized. So you've got different factions inside Terra Rebels all doing different things. So you've got Terra C Vita, which is a faction inside Terra Rebels that are kind of working, and then you've got like the developers, and you've kind of got Vegas's kind of team, and each team's kind of working to what they believe are the best kind of things. But this is what I was saying, between like what it seems like between Alex and Vegas is they just didn't want to meet in the middle. The rubbing of shoulders was just so bad. It's, you know, it even got to a point where there was bickering back and forth. But I totally get that. But Mahmood, let me know how you feel about IBC's reopening and stuff like that. Tabriz, thank you so much for congratulating us on the NFT launch. I can't believe it minted out within 21 hours. It's absolutely insane. So guys, like I said, if you've got questions, just pour them in and I will keep glancing over that screen, and I'll keep trying to answer them. So still wondering if the 6 hours auto compound works for the NFT staking on Miata. Not sure where the rewards go. Balance staking reward section. So the wallet you have connected is the wallet that your NFTs are in. If you've gone to Miata and then go to my NFTs, so I'll do it here. Go to Miata, go to your NFTs, and then you'll be able to click on your NFT when it comes up. And then it's just as simple as going through and staking each one. And it's as simple as that. The rewards are auto compounded to your Terra Classic wallets where these are held, okay? But you've got to withdraw them in that sense. We are going to put the ability in for full auto compounding and stuff like that. We are creating our own in-house module, and it will work in a symbiotic relationship, so we don't, because like a lot of people don't know this, right? So say you get a node from all nodes, you're going to have a choice. You can get different packages. To get the auto compound, you're going to need to pay £1,500 a month just to have the auto compounding feature. The HTC factory lead developer is designing that himself, so we don't need it. We'll have our own in-house one. And as this project grows, as the days go on, the project is designed to only grow, to only get bigger, and to only pay out more rewards to the 1,000 holders. And it's as simple as that. It's such a well thought out system because the treasury never ever gets touched. It will always forever grow by each day. As your rewards grow, the treasury grows, meaning that the reward distribution grows. So it's one big circle of penguin love in that sense. So let's get back to the mapper zones and let's just look at what we've got. You've even got the Kronos network. Like a lot of people don't know that Kronos is actually a big part of the system, and being able to interact with all of these different blockchains is what we need because of the simple fact that projects can move back and forth. They can work with different ones. And I mean, Juno in itself is a huge blockchain. You all know that. And if you don't, you do now. The mapper zones is really good to even just see, what. So if we find, obviously, Luna 2, Luna 1, whichever you want to call it, are they not showing up on here at the moment? I really should put my glasses on. I was looking at these glasses that are designed for people who wear headsets quite a lot, and they've got like these kind of like rubberized things. Because I've got a headset with the gaps in, but it just doesn't work. They still squeeze, and then after about 10 minutes, oh my god, say it's not true. I'm not even going to say that word, but honestly, some of the things. I was looking at one the other day that was called ANAL dust. It's like, what? No, you can't do that. Jesus. So anyway, going back over to Miata, you have got on Miata the cacti collection and then the Mujis. Alien eggs will give you Mujis. Just go in, click on them to see what they are. Those collections are going to be used in their metaverse that's dropping next year. So excited for their metaverse. We'll get a trailer up shortly all about that. And you guys, if you haven't, considered getting involved in a play to earn game or a metaverse, I would say Metagloria, Burning Nights and Exodus are definitely ones for you, because if you support the system right, these projects individually each support the system, and it's the same for anybody who launches on Miata.io. They will be only able to use Luna Classic as a payment option until obviously they go into chain, which is plans for the future, and you'll be able to branch out. But it all goes through the blockchain. It's really good to see people building like this, and they're building not only that play to earn game metaverse, but they've built this, and then the launch pad. It's a legacy in itself. I'm so excited for Metagloria to launch. And the mapper zones, what I'll do is because I'm pretty much done with this, because do make sure to do your own due diligence on IBCs, exactly how they work and how you can utilize them. We will be doing more videos. We've done a load of videos a while back showing people the Ethereum shuttle bridge and everything like that, which is kind of the IBCs. And the whole issue around Wrap Luna, I'm going to try and get someone on to explain it a lot better than I'm ever going to be able to, because the simple fact is I just can't explain it on a scale that's really simple for the everyday user to digest. I can describe to people what it is and what it does and everything like that, but I want people to understand exactly how and what, where, why it does what it does, and how it's going to affect us once it comes back, and everything like that. So yeah, do keep an eye out for that one. But this discussion in itself is really interesting because, like, from what I see, it's a similar plan, just following a different route from Alex's. So, you know, do your own due diligence on this, do have a look at this, and, you know, the agoras for everybody to speak on and talk and discuss things and everything like that. So, you know, do get involved with these things and do ensure that you're doing that. We've got our first burn coming up on the 26th of this month. That is literally 8 days away now. I'm excited to see all of these other validators that are doing 50% burns burn as well, because then it's all going to be attributing to the burn tax and stuff like that. We're really thinking about a system we can incorporate, which is a really simple, easy method to acquire Lunar Classic tokens off chain. Because if we keep attacking what's on chain, we'll end up leaving all of the kind of bulk coins off chain for when the prices get higher, and, you know, that's not good. It's not healthy for us to keep, you know, attacking our own coins, attacking our own system. Looking really strange in the movement sector. I mean, USTC's been making weird moves upwards. Normally once this makes once this pumps, normally Lunar Classic follows it, and then Luna follows just after that. So it's, I guess this is the fun with crypto, isn't it, realistically, because you just never know kind of what you're going to get or what's going to happen. But this is by far one of the worst markets I've ever, you know, sat through and watched. And, like, I can't imagine how some people must feel at the moment, because it really is a bit tedious when things are more or less not even going up, but you kind of keep getting, like, trapped in that whirlpool of going up a little bit, going down a little bit, up a bit, down a bit, up a bit, down a bit, up a bit, down a bit. And then once the bull run happens, it happens so fast sometimes that, you know, some people, they're not even, like, they could be on holiday for like 2-3 weeks and like miss the pinnacle of it. But from what you can see previously in the past as well, on bull runs, is it runs and it goes down a load, then it runs up loads, and then it starts coming down for its true correction. So sometimes you get a weird fake out, then what looks like a dead cat bounce, and then it actually goes for it. And when it goes for it, folks, trust me, it goes for it. Just look at the gains there were back in November 2021. I think that's close to when the last bull run happened. So anyway, let's get over to the white paper, and we're going to be releasing this so you guys can download it. We'll get it up on the Lunk Penguins website as well, so you guys can download it from there. We did go through a lot of this in the video, but a few things did change and we had to make a few corrections and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm literally just going to show it, and then I'm just going to leave a link at the end of this in the live stream description so people can go to it. We do have plans for the hatchery, and that's going to be coming in Q1 2023. I can't tell you a lot about it, but, you know, just because of the simple fact that's just how we work here, is we like to keep our cards tight to the chest, just because of, you know, people and project stealing and stuff like that. But the hatchery in itself is a game changer for the 1,000 holders. When that lands, it's going to be insane, because it creates another utility case for these NFTs. And then we've also pretty much been talking to Exodus about getting a true utility use case in there, more of like a one that you can see, and kind of, you know, if you're part of that metaverse, then you'll be able to utilize your NFT collection that you have with us inside that metaverse. So once that drops and they've launched and everything, we'll be working closely with them to ensure that you folks have got a utility use case in there. And then we've got a further project way probably in the, I would say, the later part of next year, to pretty much extend the NFT project again a little bit more. But what we're going to be working on in between then is a system, like I was telling you about, burning a lot more coins. Can't really tell you a lot about that for obvious reasons, that it'd be quite easy for someone to just jump in and go, you know, we'll build that before you can. So we're a small team here, but it's looking really good for us. We're getting so many people delegating with us, supporting us, and turning up to these things, liking, subscribing, and all of that. And it really does help, you know, keep us doing what we're doing, and it gives us the incentive to keep on going, keep on pushing and stuff like that. Really huge shout out to the HTC factory team. You know, they make all of these kind of dreams a reality. It's as simple as that. I'm more or less just an architect, a guy with a crazy drawing board with all these crazy ideas that I pitch to the team, and they really do turn my ramblings into what is actually a real thing. So let's talk about the rewards mechanics. So the auto staking checks the balance and unclaimed rewards of the Lunk Penguins NFT treasury every 6 hours. At that time, it stakes all funds from the NFT minting that were sent to the treasury, 50% of the mint price, with HappyCattyCrypto validator node. So this project does support our own node as well, which is quite important for us to do that, especially in a competitive environment with validators wanting to stay in the active set, so to speak. So it then withdraws all pending delegation rewards from the node. 50% of those rewards are restaked immediately to help the treasury grow, and then 50% of the rewards are distributed to the staking contract of NFTs. For details of this distribution, see below. So with the different rewards for rarity classes, so there is the share of the distributed rewards depends on the rarity of the NFT that was staked. For example, a legendary NFT gets around 3 times the rewards of a common NFT. So how do you get the rewards? I've already shown you guys that, but like I said, I'm going to be leaving a link to this after we finish this 1 hour live stream for you guys to jump in and look at, so to speak. Appreciate the team being here. I've got Strafe, Colt and Clueless, both of the HCC developers here. Really good to see you lads here. Really good day for us here at the HCC factory. We do work hard to you know, Lunk Penguins itself is an absolute work of art. It's a masterpiece of masterclass. A lot of people ever struggle to replicate this down to the level that our developer is able to, and it's the same with Lunk Blaze. It took the Shiba Inu devs, I think, way over a year to get a burn portal together, and they kind of just rushed it, threw a coin in at the end, and then they all pointed fingers to each other when the system kind of failed and didn't really go anywhere. And that's why we built Lunk Blaze the way that we did, so then we can elaborate on that system later at a very slow and secure and well thought out pace, because that's what matters in crypto, is not rushing into things and then thinking to yourself later, well, we should have done that differently, and you know, we had these things come up and we had bugs here and issues there and breaking things here. Instead, you know, we like to go through everything, fine cone everything with a comb as much as we can, and double triple check everything. So what happens to my rewards when I sell the NFT? While an NFT is staked, it can't be sold or sent to someone else. To sell it, you first have to unstake, and unstaking will take 3 days to complete. Your rewards can be withdrawn at any time during this period. If you do not withdraw your rewards before you sell or send an NFT, the rewards will be available to the new owner. So that in itself is actually really good, because you could push the value of your NFT up just by saying to them, you know, it's got a lot of rewards in there. What, you know, you could figure out between them, so to speak. So at the same time, you cannot stake an NFT that you currently have an ask price set for. So please remove your ask price to be able to use the staking feature. So why do my rewards change? As the Lunk staking, the NFT rewards, staking rewards depend on the Lunk staking APY and the amount of staked LUNC Penguins NFTs. The more NFTs staked overall means less rewards for each. At the same time, rewards grow when the treasury balance grows and more coins can be staked with our node. So here's all the rarity classes. So you've got 625 commons minted, 303 rares minted, 68 mythics and 4 legendaries. And we wanted to create a really good environment, because what we find with a lot of other NFT projects is you have rarities, but there's so many of them, it struggles to kind of keep them in that scope. So you can see here we've got the smart contract if you need to add that to Terra Station to see your NFTs in your NFT wallet, but that is where they're stored, so do keep that in mind. Miata's like an endpoint for you to view them, and then it shows you all the details of what each NFT that you've got. And obviously if you're going to sell a Lunk Penguin NFT, it's best to do it on Miata, so you're helping the system, you're helping the project grow and stuff like that. When you do like a private sale, it kind of goes up and over the system, so to speak. So you guys know we've launched and everything like that. You know who the team are, and you know that the hatchery is launching next year, Q2 of 2023. Auto mute came on, sorry folks. So when I have more information on the hatchery, which will probably be towards the end of December, I will unveil the whole project that part of it, what it's about, how it will work, and we'll give a definitive launch date for that one instead of kind of surprising you with it, because it's been so ropey for us, and especially launching in a market like it is at the moment. As you can see, like, so 2-3 weeks ago, when everything was running right, you would get, 300-400 people in a live stream. I mean, one of my live streams had 1,000 people in it, but now it's back down to those core holders, the real people that, are here for the long run, that understand the system, they support and stuff like that. So when everything starts to run again, that's when people want to get involved, and that's when it becomes more attractive to the mind, because red candles don't sell for whatever reason, green candles do. And once the panic sets in with green candles, that's kind of what then it sends it upwards and keeps making it push upwards. So like I said, folks, if you've got any questions, just chuck them out in the comment section. I will try and get them answered. So hi, how much do you have to burn through Lunk Blaze to get an NFT? And will there be utilities on these NFTs later? So those NFTs were created as a kind of bonus, because the idea behind Lunk Blaze Portal was to provide a safe, secure route, because so many people were getting scammed from burns, and there were wallets going around with like a couple of like letters or numbers different to the actual burn wallet. How they do it, we didn't know, but they still managed to do it, so to speak. So we never made the NFTs to have a utility use case on that front, but we are working on something with another project to bring a, more, the idea is to make it burn more for less. From what it's currently doing, attribute to the burns in some other way, as well as supporting that project so that they can continue to, prosper, profit, and move on, because we're all about helping the little man here at HCC, because you get drowned outright by all of these kind of, it's going to $1 tomorrow, or, you guys have to know this Lunar Classic secret, or the whole, you need, 2 billion coins to be a millionaire, and all this. It's that same format by the same people over and over again. I know this because I was consuming clickbait content for a long time, way before I started HCC, and I got sick of it after a time and ended up only listening to a specific couple of people, and even thought to myself, these guys just they've got no shame. Like, I think that's the best way to explain it. They just lack any shame whatsoever, and I think the money will always outweigh any shame that they feel, because at the end of the day, they don't care if they're a laughing stock, because they're getting loads of views, they're getting lots of money, it sells, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And yeah, it totally sucks, but one day I hope to have HCC and the community and the factory up into a place where we're taken a little bit more seriously, and people don't look at us so much as, what are they going to be able to achieve and stuff like that. Like, the longer we're running, the more we achieve, the more successful we are, the more we can create. And I don't see myself as an influencer, or one of these YouTubers that's an influencer, because I'm not trying to influence people. I'm trying to create content, projects and stuff like that. That's the postman, and that's the cat grabbing the letters to bring them over. Cheers, bird, thank you. Yeah, cats are weird. So yeah, the whole clickbait thing, Michael, is just, it's ridiculous. But the issue is, right, like I was saying, it sells. It just sells. It's more interesting than an informational video that really kind of tells you the current goings, and is not as interesting as someone telling you some crazy thing that they're coming up with about something that's totally irrelevant to everything, and then trying to make, like, they'll turn every molehill into a mountain to either make it look like way more than it is, or make it look way worse than it is. Anything that they can do to attract people in, and it all goes back to the law of attraction, how the mind works, and you looking for either real positive stuff or really, really bad stuff that's really, really bad. And it's all crashing and going to zero, and it's all over tomorrow. Oh God. I've been seeing, I don't know if anybody's seen these people that are doing the whole Twitter's crashing or whatever. It's, we are in an environment where it's so easy to fool the greater amount of people into something and all of this stuff. People saying a remint. At the moment, as it stands, we are happy with the 1,000 size collection, but the group was asking as well, because there's loads of people that are asking me to pretty much extend the collection. And we did say to the group, if that ever happened, it would be a good thing for the collection anyway, because it would only increase everything. Because you saw from our white paper, it would only increase everything, but we don't have any plans to do that. We're moving on to our hatchery, and that was the idea behind it. And this is the whole point of, I think, creating a project where you're not trying to sell lots of them. You sell a small amount of them and then really cater for that group and ensure that project's really successful, because everything's so overproduced. There's no kind of this limited edition factor and stuff like that. And we did kind of spring it on people, but at the same time we did say in the morning about it, but a lot of people needed to undelegate coins, but the hatcheries come in, stuff like that. Anyway, let's move on to something a little bit more interesting and kind of looking at what CMC's been doing. And it seems like a lot of work's gone on in the background or whatever to create the ability for this to update I think it's every 2 hours. It's every 2 hours. And there was a lot of YouTubers when they update the circulated supplies on CoinMarketCap, it's going to go to the moon. And no. But where time's being spent compared to where time could be spent, I just feel like certain people could be doing more. And I know a lot of people sit there and think, what is marketing even doing, right? I just sit there and ask myself that same question. But at the same time, this is decentralized. We can take matters into our own hands and we can build our own stuff. It's a huge market and it's a free market. And, if you can figure out how to utilize the blockchain, its technology, the faucet systems and everything like that, you can create the ultimate project, right? This is why it's so important to figure out, how to get the Oracle rewards pool funded correctly and keep it so it's sustainable and keeps going for the long run, because projects can thrive from our blockchain. Projects need a reason to come here and build. They need incentives, and it's the same for developers, right? They need incentives. Incentives come from our community pool, people seeing our community pool and thinking to themselves, well, there's a lot of coins in there. I could go over there and do some work, put a community pool spend in and, get paid. And it really is as simple as that. And I would urge anybody who's building a project anywhere else to rethink and think to yourself, you could be part of something that's really small right now that turns out to be something really, really big further down the line. And if you look at what other projects are doing and failing at, and then what we're doing here at Lunar Classic and succeeding at, you would understand what boat you should probably be on if you are getting involved in the whole kind of crypto boat race, right? So, hey Jay, do you know if the Terra Station wallet has the ability to show the value of one's coins relative to the market price? It used to, but I don't think it can anymore, because it used to judge the value off of UST and gauge it like that. And I just don't think any of that system's endpoints are even plugged in anymore to work. Maybe it'd be something in the future. Who knows? Not us right now. But one thing I can tell you is, with our Terra Station, is we lack a lot of stuff. So if you go to wallet on the mainnet, you'll see here there's an option to buy Luna, whereas we just don't have that. We have the ability there, right, to use that, but no one's utilized it yet. And anybody can put pull requests in and GitHub proposals and stuff like that, and make changes as long as they get agreed on by Terra Rebels, right, and put forward. But at the same time, a lot of people just don't know that they can do that. A lot of people think that you need to go and apply at Terra Rebels, be interviewed and stuff like that to just be putting in the work, and you really don't. If you know how to code, you know how to do all of that sort of stuff, and you want to jump in, go on there, look at the backlog requests, pick one up and just go for it. It really is as simple as that. So, and Matt's buy button idea, why not? So many things to do. Let's go slow and steady. Yeah, I don't know why this whole thing is people, with Matt and stuff, the buy button's been on Luna near the get-go, and Zaradar actually proposed about that with his commodity pools, you know, a long time ago, and the ability to have an on and off ramp. And then Demon Monkey and them lot suggested it, and then Matthew Perry actually suggested it after he was in one of those spaces. So kind of goes back to me to why I don't tell people my own ideas, right? So yeah, and it's the same really with like proposals. Like I put I put a Medium article up about developers pool, and there's 3 different Agora proposals about making a developers pool. But you know, that the issue was with following that Medium article into a proposal is that we just don't have that kind of access to do quant, right? The people who have access to him will keep that tight to their chest. I mean, if I had a direct line to him, I would be not begging him for an interview, but I would be, you know, saying to him, come on, come do a podcast episode with us and have an honest, you know, decent conversation about what's actually current, what's going on. Not talking about what happened, but what you're going to do to fix things. And, you know, especially with this audit now, and if you haven't seen the audit that was made by, I can't remember who it was done by, but it pretty much shows that TFL made every attempt to save the peg, do the right thing. They even spent, you know, their own assets, and at the end of it all, they really were the ones who suffered. And, you know, hopefully someone else gets another audit out to figure out, you know, who performed this attack, how it was performed, what wallets did it, and stuff like that. Eventually that will come out, because there's a lot of people think that you can hide stuff in crypto, but you can't. People that were, you know, buying stuff and selling stuff on the Silk Road 10, 15 years ago are now getting caught because it was all through Bitcoin. And, you know, in the European Union, I think at the moment they're talking about banning privatized coins, so redacted money, Monero, is it XMR? I think XMR is one of them as well, so to speak. So, you know, there is always this push really on us at all times. Folks, do make sure to make use of, like, realistically, save this in your favorites on your computer. I'll put it in the... Hey Cryptex, welcome. Nice and quiet this week, my dude, just how we like it. It's really easy for me because otherwise my throat starts to get raspy. So onwards and upwards really for us here at the HappyCattyCrypto community, because I feel like when we do our first burn right this month, people are going to start to kind of like turn their heads around and go, well, you know, he's still here, he's still building, you know. And we're getting to a point now, right? And this is something that it makes me sit backwards in my chair and kind of fold my arms and just kind of go, you know, people are going to wake up soon. People are going to wake up and realize that everybody's talking a lot, but not doing anything. People are moaning loads, but they're just not doing nothing. Like, you know, at some point, people are going to have to wise up and just realize, you know, when do you stop, you know, moaning and actually get off your own back and do something and actually provide something to this community and stuff like that. And, you know, all of the influencers out there, they use Lunk Penguins, right? When do they ever shout us out now? They don't. And it's because of the simple fact that we won't conform, right? We won't become like them. Like I tried to be, you know, supportive of them and stuff, but how can you support people that, you know, can't even be honest to themselves? Can't even be honest to themselves. They sold their souls a long time ago, you know, when they like, without naming people off, you know, I know so many different projects that are taking payments for helping projects across the board, because I speak to so many different projects outside of Luna Classic and over at Luna and stuff like that. And it makes me laugh. Like, one influencer wanted 20 grand a month, right, to more or less help a project that I'm working with. £20,000 a month. £20,000 a month. Like, this is a well-set influencer as well. Like, what? Oh my god, these guys must be making an absolute killing. And, you know, eventually people are going to wise up and realize that. And any project that I've worked with, feel free to go and DM them. Feel free to @ me in a tweet, okay, at every single one of the projects I've worked with, and call them out in public. Call them out in public and say, does HappyCattyCrypto, you know, charge you guys? Because loads of people think that we do, but we don't. and we never have and never will. And the only things we've ever received were a donation from Metagloria, which was our cacti, and then I gave away my cacti that I purchased because I felt so bad that I'd been given something. We were given a couple of Burning Knights, I gave those away as well, and we were given a Muji rare egg the other day from the Miata team. We giving that away as well. That draws on Sunday, by the way. Head over to Twitter if you want to get involved in that. Like, we just don't, like, I get so inspired by these projects because I think to myself, oh my god, like, I see what could be in a year's time, like just what I saw back in May when everybody else saw this opportunity of chaos to create more calamity, to really profit in on the views, the RPM. And I didn't see that. I saw a community that needed help, and you know, sitting where we are now, I can always sit back and say to myself, you know, I don't need to sit there and say to people, well, you know, we do this and we do that, because the proof is in our work. But at the same time, like, we just don't really, we get support from our very close people that we work with, but you know, a lot of people, it's like a fake smile they put on, and you know, it sucks that people feel the need that they need to charge people to help them succeed. And you know, if you just help them succeed, it's going to help a whole community succeed. I mean, if you believe in karma, the karma you would get from something like this, you know, hopefully it will get me, you know, a passage to whatever happens after, you know, we move on from this world, so to speak. And I hope and I pray each day that I'm doing good stuff for the community, and I'm actually supporting and building things that can be used and to prosper and profit from. And so many people like wanted us to build casinos and, you know, stuff like that. And gambling's just, regardless of being able to figure out the laws and stuff, I hate gambling. I just hate it. I really do. I don't mind raffles, not got any issues with raffles whatsoever, because if they're balanced and built out properly, and you know, you trust the people to do the right things, and if you could build it into smart contracts like Terra Rebels have, which is pretty easy, then it can work. And I don't see any issues with it, because at the end of it all, it's all automated and everything gets sent to where it should get sent to, and everybody's a winner, so to speak, right? So it's good to see that certain people are building, but you know, so like my last week on my Twitter thing, someone asked me about the holacracy thing, and it is such a complex situation, because we already have a well built out system with validators and everything like that. And like, it just feels like instead of people figuring out what we've got currently and working with that, people are like, more or less like, you know, how can we control this and send it into a direction that we want. I'm just not here for that. I'm here for the jolly old ride with you guys, and to provide sweets, entertainment, photos at the end of the ride, so to speak, and just have a good time with everyone. And we'll be burning until the supply hits 10 billion, and whenever that happens, I don't know, you know, some crazy person could, you know, figure out some way to get the mint to burn mechanism back into place, as to which it starts burning through tons of Lunar Classic coins, and that is doable. If someone figures out the algorithm correctly, figures out a way to get these commodity pools to where they need to be, you could do that. You could burn through a lot of coins by using USTC, how it used to work, and that was the whole point behind it originally. So the system's there, but it's a matter of understanding what went wrong last time and not turning it back on in an event that it will just do what it did before. So, you know, there's so many more routes to take, and we've got so much potential. I mean, if you Google what is the top coins in crypto at the moment and what has the most potential for 2023, Lunar Classic comes up each time. Lunar Classic, Lunar Classic, Lunar Classic. Community driven coin, dedicated community, dedicated developers that listen to the community. You will see that time and time and time and time again. And I can see so many people that, you know, hate on so many people's like different projects and stuff they're doing and all of those different things across the board. And I just feel like if people took that negative energy, turn it into positive energy, built something, then we really could get somewhere as a community. Stop fighting each other. Let's all get into the boat. Let's all row in the same direction, because ultimately that's where we're all heading, right? If we're all holding a Lunar Classic bag, why are we fighting each other? I just don't get it. Like, it doesn't need to be a fight. It just needs to be a debate all the time. And Yeah, it's very interesting. You should go and see how they speak to each other over at, I think we can go over there now, actually. The way they speak to each other, honestly, it feels like being at a British tea party with, like, really posh people. Governance and proposals. So, I mean, like, they're just so polite to each other. Like, thank you for your reply. That's just a little background. And, you know, they're just really, really nice to each other's ideas. They don't dump on each other, you know, he's a bad guy because he did this and stuff like that. But at the same time, I totally get it in our community because we have had some awful people come in and out, you know, trying to wiggle their way into stuff. And it just goes to show, because I always like to say it all comes out in the wash, and it does. Because at the end of all of this, it was, you know, oh, I want a finder's fee. You know, I'm going to say, you know, a finder's fee. $1,000, sorry, $100,000 as a finder's fee. What? Like, what? Who comes up with these numbers? Like, honestly, the amount of drama that person caused and the amount of, you know, issues they've caused across the board. Once again, it's like not the first time they've done it, but again. And, you know, and then he'll probably come back in a month or two with something even worse. And, you know, dump on everybody again. And it must be, like, from where I sit, I'm like, are these people short in the market or something? Because they intentionally know what to say to make things happen. It's, you know, it's scary. It's scary in my mind, because to think that people would do something like that. And what I always think is crypto is an emotional based. If you think about it as a sport, it's an emotional based one. If you could erase the emotion, okay, you can screw with a lot of people to help the market work with you, especially if you've got yourself into a position where people listen to you, you know, and you've got these little cronies that will go out and spread stuff out and stuff like that. But folks, I just want to point out, right? Okay, this is a decentralized governance, okay? Anybody who's anybody can get involved with this and, you know, put proposals in, make change and stuff like that. Just, you know, be creative. And look at the Alliance module. If you don't know what the Alliance module is, go back and look at my videos I've put up about that. It's really interesting to see how they're conducting themselves over on Luna 2, which is where all of like the real big time builders went and stuff like that. So incentive on this blockchain is everything, like 100%. And I will always stand by this. LUNC, not LUNA. Regardless of me putting out news saying, you know, well, you know, he's had an audit, he's innocent, and me saying, you know, Luna's got a good future ahead of it. Of course it has. It's tied into our system. If we move up, they're going to move up. If they move up, we're going to move up. But I support Luna Classic. Okay, I support it because of the sheer fact that when they abandoned the system, when they all went running, jumping off the ships, right, you know, and left everybody floating down, you know, river disaster and capitulation, we were there. We were there, and they weren't. Like, they never ever, and people need to remember that, like, he did more or less abandon people. That will never ever change, regardless of him not being guilty of the crash and capitulation. He still abandoned a huge community and forced another community more or less into an airdrop, because at the time that was all that was available. That was all that was going to happen. That was all that was available, and that was really the only choice at that point. And they had nothing to lose because they had lost everything already. Now all of those people have had no choice but to receive airdrops and are in the position that they're in. A lot of their coins are still vested and locked up. At least 50% of people's holdings that they're supposed to get are still locked up, and you would know that if you got a Luna airdrop yourself. So, you know, do remember that, but do also remember that, you know, Luna Classic is where we hang our hats. That's home, and that's never going to change. I'm never going to go off and start building projects on other, you know, blockchains like Luna, for the simple fact that, like, I support Luna Classic because our developers are not going to abandon us. If times get tough, and we've been through some damn tough times recently, they're not going to, you know, go off. And they did all of this for free up until this point. And I'm so glad that Zaradar and other people are getting hand-built laptops to specification to work off of. Groundbreaking. He even said himself he can get so much more done now. I mean, he can operate 3 screens from that laptop's power, meaning he can have 3 screens going at once. You can do so much more when you're just literally moving mouse from screen to screen. I mean, I myself, I use a KV switcher, which for me allows me to switch between 3 different computers because I run servers in my spare time as a hobby. So I should really stop banging the desk. Everything's going really good in my opinion, and the quicker people stop bickering about this money and, you know, look at the facts and see that Terror Rebels don't want nothing to do with it. There's too many legal ties with it. Let's just, will I ever show my face? No, because my face is absolutely irrelevant to cryptocurrency. Like 100 million bazillion gazillion % irrelevant. Like on the most grandest of scales, it's like so irrelevant. And, you know, just like trust isn't built off of what a person looks like and stuff like that. Trust is built off of, you know, what you're doing and what you've done and what you're providing for people. Like, who else has spent like countless months, you know, building a website with so many endpoints that it just does, it's like a Swiss Army website. And it's like Luna. Does Luna have a site like this? If anybody knows about a site like this for Luna, let me know. Let me know if there's one like this for SHIB. Let me know if there's a website list for any other coin out there that does everything that this does. I mean, if you want to see proposals that are up, you can see them here. Like, you don't need it to even go to Terra Station to see anything. So, you know, my face is totally irrelevant. What we've done has proved time and time and time again that you can trust us. We're not going anywhere. And will I get an LUNC tattoo? Yeah, actually, Gabriel. So just before I broke my back, right, I had a sleeve. So I had the rest of my left side arm sleeve booked in, and I've had the time to rework it. I'm going to be getting a few different kind of like logos thrown into the, it's like a nano, it looks like a nano web. Anyway, I will be getting an LUNC tattoo for sure, because Luna Classic changed my life, and as did HCC, and it's not been easy for me because, you know, I, as well as Terror Rebels working at a loss, right, we at HCC worked at a loss this whole time, and it's only recently we've realized that we do have a guaranteed future here in LUNC from the support that we've got from our node, and that we're responsible, you know, for ensuring the future of Luna Classic. And if you've watched any of my videos recently, you would understand that validators play an absolute crucial role in our blockchain, and it's as simple as that. They create incentives for holders to use Luna Classic, do stuff with it, and they have the ability to harness, okay, the treasury that they've got. They've got the ability from the funds that they're getting to build stuff, right? Remember that. And do remember that, you know, the people that have got themselves involved with this blockchain because of the sheer fact that there's money to be had out of the Oracle rewards pool, ask yourself, what are they building? What are they doing? And have they even built anything previously for anything else? And the simple answer is no, because the way they see it is, why should I invest money in all of this when I can make money from it? And it's as simple as that. Folks, I'm going to leave it on that kind of note, and just, you know, support those who are building. There's so many different people in the community right now building. You've got Luna Burning Knights, Luna Punks, Exodus, Meta Gloria. There's just, you know, it's just so many people building, and, you know, the more support they get, the more they sit there and think to themselves, you know, well, this community really does want this, and, you know, we really should always keep building it. And it keeps people's minds in a good place in this really, really bad bear market. Folks, stay safe. None of this is financial advice. Huge thanks to everybody who minted Lunk Penguins NFT. So glad you guys are part of the project. Appreciate the donation from John. Appreciate you guys all being here this week and stuff like that. And just stay safe. Beware of scammers. Beware of doppelgangers. Beware of any pretending to be me. And I'll catch you in the next one. Haha! My throat's better. I can schlup.